Hey, noble ones, welcome to Metatron's Academy, and today, we've got a situation here. Okay, so the algorithm has pushed this video into my feed, and it's called I'm Angrier Than I've Ever Been, full stop. You're being lied to, in my opinion. Anyways, this is from a channel called Learn Japanese from Zero, which is this channel here. A channel that I used to watch, and I stopped watching simply because I got busy doing my own content creation, not for any specific reason. The host, George, is a perfectly capable teacher, has been teaching Japanese for over, since the 90s, I believe, if I recall correctly. And he has, together with his wife, who is Japanese, been producing these books to learn Japanese called Japanese from Zero, which I think are excellent books. Very good channel if you want to check out Japanese and learn it in a fun way. Now, not too long ago, he actually had a little bit of a situation we could call an online beef with Matt versus Japan, hence me putting it at the top here, who's another, I want to say, a bit controversial content creator when it comes to the Japanese learning community on YouTube. Although then again, he's kind of out the picture now because he hasn't been posting, for 2 years. That was just to give you a little bit of an introduction, if you will. Let's check him out. Let's see what he has to say. What happened?
All right. I can see now that I have sound.
Yes, sound.
Sorry about that. Hi. My name is George Trombley, for those of you that might be watching this video and not know who I am.
Right.
I wrote Japanese from Zero, entire
Very nice book.
series teaching Japanese, 5 books, Kanji from Zero, even some Korean books. I've been teaching Japanese since 1997
Aha, I was right.
in live classrooms. And I'm so angry right now. I really am angry. And I've been angry all morning since being reported to what has happened. And I thought, what am I going to do? And I thought to do a big expose video with, awesome music and scripted performance. But that's not what I do. I talk to you
Fair.
like a human being. It's what all my lessons are unscripted. You've never seen.
I actually appreciate that. I mean, again, even though I disagree with him on quite a lot of things, I appreciate that approach.
One scripted lesson in the last 20 years of me teaching online, however long it's been since my first video. So I decided I'm just going to report how I'm feeling and why I feel that you are being lied to. Let me get up straight. There's no scandal with me. So what did George do? George didn't do anything. George literally did nothing. Okay.
Okay.
Somebody this morning asked me if I was endorsing Matt versus Japan.
Man, I knew it was a good. It's another situation between him and Matt versus Japan. Goodness gracious. Well, let's see. I'm fair. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I don't have a horse in the race, so I think I can be neutral when it comes to this. Let's see the facts.
And Ken Cannon on their course. Because my name has been used in one of their marketing.
Okay, so up to this point, emails. Yeah, I mean, let's see the email. I hope he shows the email, but up to this point, if that's what happened, if they used him to help their marketing material without his consent, considering that teaching Japanese is what he does, that's bad. That's bad. I would be on with him 100%, but let's see.
Emails. And it's sneaky. It's sneaky.
Right.
And I'm just going to show it to you. Listen to this.
Okay, he's going to show it. I appreciate that. Oh, he stopped right. Let me move myself. Let's go, Metatron. Relocation.
Hey, my friend is doing a free Learn Japanese challenge, and it starts January 1st.
They're always free, and then they're never free, are they?
He'll be working together with you for 3 days live. And he'll help you learn 25% of the Japanese language. ... in 3 days.
Nonsense. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I actually stopped. I used to use some of the cards from Matt vs. Japan, because Matt vs. Japan is an excellent Japanese speaker. That you can hate the guy, you can hate his guts, but still admit the guy speaks really well Japanese. However, this kind of marketing, I'm like, no, you do that once, I'm out. because it's false. 25% of the Japanese language in 3 days. Goodness gracious, nonsense. Talking about these percentages, I might have got that myself. Let me see. I got a email from Matt versus Japan. It's called It's Over. My friend is having a first live. If you want to learn 25% of Japanese language, he'll help you do it live in 3 days. Yeah, I got it too. I have got it too. And this, Matt versus Japan, this is nonsense. Stop the car salesman pitch. Please have some decency. Oh my gosh, 25%. How did you calculate that?
Which is absolute bullshit.
He's right. He's right. George is right. I know he looks angry. Let's go past that for a moment. He's absolutely right.
You cannot learn 25% of the Japanese language in 3 days.
Yep.
No matter who tells you that, that is an absolute lie.
He's correct.
And the friend that he's talking about is Ken Cannon.
I don't know anything about Ken Cannon, just to let you know. I know about Matt versus Japan. I don't know anything about the other one.
And this email comes from his email list, and it is signed from Matt versus Japan. Mm-hmm. Now, Matt will tell you, like he told me when I laid it out to him online, I said, yo, you don't use my name in your marketing, because I'll show you in a second where he uses it.
He's correct to be mad. Already using his name in the marketing without permission is bad. It's bad practice. But connecting it to this kind of marketing makes it even worse. So once again, I disagree with this guy a lot, but he's right.
You don't use my name.
Right.
He'll say, oh, Ken made me do it. I'm a little weak, frail man. And I have
well, you don't need to go for the personal attacks yourself now, but whatever.
No control over it. I wanted to break up with my boyfriend, Ken. And he wouldn't do it unless I did this one last thing. That's a...
Okay, for context, before people get mad here, when he says my boyfriend Ken, I don't think he's actually talking really about sexuality, Matt personal sexuality, which would be his own privacy. Who cares? I think it's George being hyperbolic when it comes to them being business partners. I'm just putting it out there because George is old school, okay? So that's that kind of hyperbole, just so you know.
Summation of what it sounded like when he was telling me. And I'll let you know, I'm being facetious because I'm angry.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Sure.
Here's the schedule. Join him for this. It'll be super cool. By the way, according to Matt, this is written by the man himself, Ken Cannon, saying, this is my friend, Matt.
Right.
P.S. The reason I really like this challenge is because I actually went through a longer version of it myself back in November 2020. Parentheses, George from Japanese from Zero was talking about it, and I wanted to see what all the hype was about.
Oh, that's bad. Yeah, that's... If George didn't talk about it, if George did talk about it, then I mean there's nothing wrong with saying it. Although then again, it's annoying that you would do it on purpose to kind of utilize the man's success on YouTube for your own gain, to push something that is clearly impossible, 25%. So it's still bad. But if George didn't even talk about it, I want to see what he's going to say. But that face tells me he didn't. Let's see. Drama.
Do you think I hyped about Ken Cannon?
Yeah.
I've seen his video. I've seen a few of his videos. I thought they were pretty good. I like Ken Cannon. I've always liked Ken Cannon. And I've always liked Matt versus Japan. But they are slime balls to me right now in this particular moment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with George on this one.
Matt has no excuse from using my name, allowing my name to be used. Do you think if I sent an email from my emailing list, which has over 150,000 emails at this point, and said, hey guys, check out this free thing that isn't going to be free when they send you marketing information later on and try to get hundreds of dollars for you for their course.
Yep.
And I said, you could learn Japanese in 3 days, 25%. You know what that means? Mathematically, I'm not a math genius. It means that in 12 days, you could be a Japanese grandmother who lived in the war and went to college 4 times.
Pretty much, yeah, because I mean, think about it. 3 days, in only 3 days, you can pick up 25% of the Japanese language, which translate to exactly in 12 days, you will be a native speaker. What a joke.
Just because, let's take Matt at his word,
Right.
that Ken Cannon has a grip on his balls and let him send this email, doesn't take away your culpability, Matt.
Legit. Yep, correct.
Because you messaged me 2 or 3 days ago saying, hey, what's up? I'm in town. I think it's extremely bad timing that then a few days later, my name comes up in something that you know nothing about.
Well, to be fair now, because not that I'm playing devil's advocate, but it seems like he did admit. I mean, he didn't say he knew nothing about it if he said that the other guy made him do it. So which one is it, George? Because I think you're getting angry here, but you're losing the plot. I'm not understanding. As a viewer of this, right? Because you addressed that first. For those people who are watching this, I'm those people who are watching this and reacting to it. So I'd like to understand, did he say that he knew nothing about it? Or did he say he made me do, the devil made me do it? Because these are contrasting statements. It's either one or the other, unless he first said he knew nothing about it and then under pressure confessed, which is once again something we would like to know as the public. So please clarify on that. That would be fantastic. But up to this point, I'm with George.
And here's the other thing, guys, Ken and Matt, who are the only audience I care to hear this at this moment. And anyone that thinks they can trust Ken, Cannon, and Matt versus Japan at this point.
Right.
When you guys first started your little, whatever course you created, I don't know the name of it. These guys called me from their Airbnb, from their little room where they were creating it, and said, hey, George, we want you to sell our course. We'll give you 50% of all revenue.
Well, I mean, it's a business proposal. There's nothing wrong with that. You can say no to it. You can say yes to it. But considering the fact that at that time you were already an established channel while they weren't, makes sense as a business opportunity. So I'm not sure where he's going with this.
And you know what I said? No. Because I don't do collabs and I don't sell other people's courses. I'm petty. I think I'm the best. If I'm
okay, let me comment on that. That's it. I know it makes him sound condescending, and it does. And it makes you sound condescending, makes you sound arrogant, George. So I understand it's probably gonna rub some of you wrong what he said just now. Absolutely, I get it. But at least I appreciate that the guy's transparent. Okay, that's one thing that we could say about George. His personality is a little bit of a hit and miss with me. What he just said now, I'm the best. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's condescending. It's condescending. But then again, I appreciate that at least he's honest. And I do want to say this. For a man who spent, I don't know how many decades in Japan, which is one of the countries, I love Japan, okay? Lived 4 years, speak the language. I love Japan. I have my university degree focused on Japanese studies. With that being said, Japan has a problem with fake humility, and this guy did not fall for that. So, at least I appreciate the transparency.
I'm the best. I'm not going to sell someone else's course. Maybe I'll mention it. But I'm not going to sell a competing course, especially when I literally give mine away for free.
Right.
I'm not going to be part of any of that.
I mean, that's your choice. That's fine. That's your choice. I don't see anything wrong with mentioning other creators if their work is legit. In fact, I do that all the time. I do it on my main channel, Metatron, with almost 1 million subscribers. I do it here. I do it on my third channel. I do it on Twitch. I actually enjoy mentioning other people because I don't think they are necessarily competing. There is a lot of room in this space, and there are a lot of people that are interested. If you think that someone else's work is good and can help your students as supplementary to your own work, but it's your choice. At least when it comes to business, then he doesn't need to give any explanation. He said no, fair enough. It's a business opportunity. He doesn't see it as a profitable opportunity, and so he rejects it. Nothing personal about that. At that point, business is business.
Especially especially when Ken Cannon's name has been so dirtied for what he did so long ago.
I have no idea what that is.
Where he didn't refund people.
Oh, that's what it is.
Ken Cannon had a course many, many years ago that he was developing while he was teaching it.
Keep in mind that we are hearing his point of view on this. I do trust George when it comes to being fair, but then again, let's not go attack this Ken Cannon if we haven't done a little research on our side.
And then something happened in his life. I believe him. He had a breakdown and he ghosted everybody and he left.
Right.
And it took him years later to finally refund people.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. If that's how it happened, it's pretty bad.
And that's why if you look up Ken Cannon, you'll see don't trust Ken Cannon. He's a scam.
I see.
Okay. I had Ken Cannon on a live stream. Me and Ken from my very studio. And I like Ken. Ken was staying in my house. Him and his girlfriend / wife / whoever. Okay. And I like Ken. And I found out then it was only like maybe 20 people that he had wronged. And I thought, wow, that's a lot for one man to have to bear being called a scam artist his entire life after that for just 20 people.
Right.
And we had great discussions. I said, well, look, man, if anyone comes up, he says, I'm doing my best to pay these people back, and I believed him. And then someone in one of those videos commented that they had not gotten a refund. And Ken gave them the runaround.
To be honest, one thing I noticed about George that I want to say, because since we are watching, some of you are probably introduced to him through my video now for the first time, and you might get, because you heard him say, I'm the best, and you're thinking this guy's just an arrogant asshole. But the reality is that one thing I noticed, having watched many videos from George, is that he's crude. Like, he'll tell you how it is, he'll tell you what he thinks, he doesn't care about that. Being particularly like, be careful how you express something. However, he's not a bad guy. Just maybe trust me on this one, because I watched him quite a while. I think he's good-hearted and well-meaning. So one thing we can say about George is that he is not a bad guy.
And wasn't willing to... From what I saw, he wasn't going to refund those people. Right? So you know what I did? I sent them all 5 of my books for free because I had Ken on my podcast or on my video.
That's what I mean. He's a stand-up guy. That's a stand-up guy. Right there.
I took responsibility for that, Matt. You need to take responsibility for putting my name in this slick way. This super slick way. Oh, it's just, George isn't actually saying this. George from Japanese from Zero was talking about it. And I wanted to see what all the hype was about. Does that mean I hyped it? Now I'm fluent in Japanese, so I just intended to do a quick review of it to see how legit it was. But once I started, I was like, dang, I didn't know that.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so bad. Like that kind of fake marketing. Does it work on people? I guess it does if they do it.
And I actually learned a lot of stuff. I wasn't expecting that. You know what's weird about that, Matt? I don't believe you. I don't believe that wording about you that Ken might have wrote. You know why? Because I met Matt, oh God, maybe it was 6 months ago, within the last year. Me and Matt had dinner here in Las Vegas. And I have a list on my phone of words that I don't know. They're maniac words to me that my wife has said or that I heard on a TV show, and I have them in a list. And Matt knew every single one of them. Matt is truly really good at Japanese.
He is. See, that's what I mean. He's fair.
Which is why it is so sad that he keeps doing these things.
Right.
When Matt broke up with Yoga Lucas, whoever that guy is.
Yeah, I remember that.
By the way, have talked with for hours, the Yoga Man. I talked to the Yoga Man for hours. So I heard both sides of the story.
Right.
I called Matt because he was going through a lot. And I said, Matt, listen, man, here's the takeaway. Whatever you do, don't get a partner in your business.
I think that's a very good piece of advice.
Because always one side will feel like they're not doing the job. And what did he do? He joined up with Ken Cannon. And now when you look up Matt's name, he's associated with that, which is...
I get it, yeah. Well, I mean, Matt's name was already... Yeah.
why I don't want my name associated with anybody teaching Japanese besides me.
Makes absolute sense. That's fair.
That way, if I say something in a live stream that gets me canceled, it's my fault. If I do something that hurts me, I have no one to blame. I do not endorse Ken Cannon. I don't have any hype for his course, no matter how much I liked him in the beginning. And no matter how much I still think Matt's smart, but a fucking idiot. A fucking idiot for letting somebody email his, for how much money? How much was it worth it, Matt, to anger me, the one who actually fucking cares about you as a human being, and still thinks you could revive your career? When you were here, I said, hey man, you really got to make videos on YouTube again. You're really good at it. And you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do it when I go back. And you didn't do any videos.
Right.
I was disappointed. I even said on my live streams, which I'm sure you don't watch, I say, hey man, where's Matt? It's disappointing. I like that guy. So take this as a warning from me. Anybody, I do not endorse anyone else's Japanese courses.
You should probably make a dedicated video, because the live stream, it's getting picked up by the algorithm. I saw it on my homepage, but because of the title, I'm angrier than I've ever been. Some people might not click it. I would make a dedicated video, George, saying I do not endorse Ken Cannon and Matt versus Japan courses if you receive any. And then you explain that if you receive an email, maybe make it a little shorter, more compact. I'm not saying scripted, since you're against scripting, but I'm just saying make it shorter, a bit more compact, and maybe let your audience know, so that this way, if in the future someone does get into the course because they saw, oh, but Japanese from Zero, George actually was talking about it, so I trust him, I'll spend $100, $200, and then maybe that's a lot of money for some people. It is a lot of money for a lot of people, in fact, in this economy. And then imagine that they feel scammed and they're like, why didn't you warn me? And then you're going to tell them, well, I did make a live stream. I would suggest to you to make a dedicated video, man.
Because I wrote my own. And the only thing I have to show really over these 25 years is my integrity.
Yeah.
You don't see a video about George Trombley, the fall of George Trombley, the fall. What happened to George Trombley? What happened to Japanese from Zero? You don't see
That's true.
it. You know why? Because I deliver what I sell.
Yeah.
I sell what I can deliver. One more quick thing about Ken Cannon, because he used my name, I'm going to use his name. When I first saw his Protocol 80 and Protocol 90 promotion, I went and on his website, clicked through to it because I'm on the mailing list. I was having a meeting with my CTO and the co-owner of my company, and I said, look at this guy lying to his people. This guy is a used car salesman. He said, you will learn.
Used car salesman. That's a very good way to represent that sort of marketing method.
80% of Japanese after this one course.
Yeah, please. Anyways, I'm not going to react to the entire thing. If you want to see the end of this, please click the link in the description, as I always do with my React content. That's my way of doing it, so that it kind of incentivizes people to go finish it. Since you were invested up to this point, you're like, hey, I want to see how this ends. Then click the link in the description on the pitch comment. But yeah, I've got to say, I'm with Matt. In this situation, I'm with George, and it is what it is. They really need to drop the car salesman pitch, because it's just bad. 25%. Just don't make fake promises that you know are impossible, physically impossible, because there will be some people that believe them, and they will be more prone into giving you money, but then you will under deliver, because it's impossible to deliver 25% of the entirety of the Japanese language in 3 days, and therefore they will feel scammed, and that's not right. And then yeah, you got the money in your bank account, but at what price? At what cost? Thank you very much for watching, number ones. I'll see you tomorrow, and bye, George, if you watch this. Ciao, ciao.